have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Aerosol! Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation. I'm your host, Melissa Farmer Hill, Army combat veteran and founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, we'll take a spin around the Shero resource table. We've got your story, your tip, and special guest of the week all coming up right after this. Million veterans, over 16 million veterans out there, and not one of us has all the answers. But together, we can definitely figure it out. The Shero Resource Table is here to provide you with some helpful information, some resources and programs for the veteran community, because when one of us wins, we all win. So last week, you guys, I was listening in on the women's telehealth town hall meeting that was hosted by Jesse Brown, VA. So there's a part that opened up where they were asking questions. Yeah, they were asking questions. And one of our sister vets shared that she got hit with a bill after going to the emergency room. And I was really interested because that part of the panel, because they also have a host of experts that help you answer the questions that you might have. So I took notes. And so what was said, I wanted to definitely kind of bring it to you and explain it to you to help prevent that from happening to you, because no one wants another bill these days, right? No one wants another bill these days, and if we can prevent that from happening, it's all the better. So I want to start with urgent care. 1 second here. It seems like my video is not working.
Just bring Nekohl in and talk for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Connect to your hotspot.
Okay. All right. I see myself, but Nekohl, we've got to bring our special guest in. Nekohl, right now, apparently, I got to go out of the video and come back in, but I want you to talk about, I'll just go ahead and do your intro. Sometimes these things happen, you guys. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to bring our special guest, Nekohl, in. But before I do that, what I want to do is talk about her. We're here to talk about uh, a person who's bringing purpose, power, and she definitely has an undeniable presence to every room she enters. Now, Nekohl is a proud Army veteran and a powerful advocate for women who serve. And what I love about this is guess what? When I bring her on, she can definitely take over. So I'm happy for this. So she's currently serving as the VFW Illinois Women's Chairperson, where she's leading the charge to make sure women veterans are not just included, but centered in conversations around leadership, recognition, and support. She's the founder of Where We Meet, and it's an organization that fosters community and healing and connection for women navigating life after service. She's also the owner of NCJ I Am the Map LLC. And I'm going to bring her on right now for her to talk about those two things because I have a whole bunch of questions to ask. But like I said, hey, you sometimes you gotta move differently. And this morning we got to move differently. So, ladies and gentlemen, and I know she can do it. I know she can do it because for one, she's a Shero Coffee ambassador, and I did not tell you that. Here is Ms. Nekohl Johnson. Nekohl, take it away.
Thank you for trusting me with your platform, and I certainly will start by talking about the VFW. And since I have this opportunity, I do want to talk about the pillars of leadership for women veterans. And I am going to refer to my notes a bit, but I think it's important that you know, because I'm in this position and I was appointed to the position of VFW State Women's Chairperson for the Department of Illinois. I'm so proud and honored that about this appointment. And I do want to share with you all the pillars, which will also reflect on what I do with Where We Meet, NCJ, I Am the Map, and Behold with Nekohl. And of course, I'm a Shero 2025 Shero ambassador, and I take Shero Coffee with me everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about the pillars for VFW. The pillars of leadership for women veterans are honor and healing, which is uplifting our live experience and creating spaces. That's what I got from Where We Meet, is creating spaces, because at one point I needed a space. And since I found that space, I was able to help create spaces for others. And I want to allow that to also be a part of the VFW state of Illinois. Access and advocacy, educating women about benefits, support services, and leadership opportunities. I recently, through multi-faith veteran initiatives, completed the VSO training, not because I plan to be a VSO officer, but so that I had the resources and the information to help others navigate this process. Empowerment through engagement, which is creating events such as the coffee chats. Mentorship, which is mainly veteran to veteran, but including other parts of the military experience, spouses, children. Also, community and connection, which is sisterhood throughout the districts. We had our first statewide meeting, and I was able to meet with primarily the leaders of the women veterans of Illinois for the VFW. And we talked about dividing the territories so that we could create spaces all over and make sure that no one is left out. So that we're excited about that. And then legacy and leadership, investing in future generations, meaning post 9/11 veterans, people who are currently serving, and the likes. So I'm excited about the role. I'm excited to be able to share these pillars with you all, and excited, very excited about being a part of the Shero Coffee brand as an ambassador and supporter all around. So thank you, Melissa, for allowing me to share those pillars and just be a part of this show. It means a whole lot to me, and I love Shero Coffee. I will say it over and over and over again. We can't hear you yet, but I'm excited to know what you're talking about.
One second. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So I didn't hear anything you said because I was trying to get my internet connectivity together. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
So I don't know what you said, but I want to continue to roll in this on this interview. I heard pillars at the last thing. I think those were those the VFW pillars?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
For the
Wonderful.
State of Illinois Women's Chairperson. So those are those that I created.
Okay, wonderful. So tell me, how do your different roles? I mean, you've got Shero Coffee, you're a Shero Coffee ambassador, Behold with Nekohl, Where We Meet, and the VFW Women's Leadership role. How do they support each other, just to create a larger impact? How do you see that?
Well, what I've done is taken what I've learned from being in the veteran community. I started in the veteran community because I needed help for myself. And I never expected to be a leader in the community because that's the one thing I said I would never do is work with veterans. So never say never because that's absolutely what I'm doing. And my life has progressed in that direction. So what I see for the state of Illinois at large, actually, although I cover the women veterans, this will benefit all veterans and the VFW auxiliary. I don't want people to think that you must be a veteran of foreign wars to be a part of the VFW. You can be a part of the auxiliary. We have military veterans in the auxiliary who have not gone to war, and we support each other hand in hand. So my primary thing is using those same tools and creating and adding others that come from other leaders across the state, but primarily creating safe spaces, ensuring that people have access to their benefits. The safe spaces is very important because in those spaces we can carry out the other things that we want to, like creating events and navigating other resources, and it's making sure that the veteran who's in the space feels like they can reach out and get help. And it's not always about getting help with health, it's about getting help with resources, homes,
Mhm.
like anything that you may need help with, which is what I created with Where We Meet, just creating safe spaces and just bringing that over into the VFW community. So, there is nothing new. We're just expanding what a lot of the leaders in the VFW are already doing, sharing that. One big plan I have, and we've started that already, is to meet every other month online so that we can share what we did last month and what we plan on doing next month, in hopes that the people who are participating will be able to use some of those resources, which is take away and also add, just to spread this good thing around the state.
Right, absolutely. That's wonderful. So let's talk about the coffee chats, which Shero Coffee Club is definitely involved in. And right now, you guys, if you are watching this show, because Andre, who's on my ones and twos, says I never do this, please subscribe to where you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, all you have to do is click the like or subscribe button and share this vital information. So I did that, Andre. So he won't have to come at me when this is over. But I want to talk about the coffee chats that, amazingly enough, are just popping up everywhere. But how I remember it, it started, my Shero Coffee Club and its participation with coffee chats involved you and the ask, and me saying yes, and now we're just growing and doing greater things. So how do you think, like, the coffee chat gatherings, how do they help veterans, kind of open up and build up community as well? And tell us, for those who are watching, they might not even know what a coffee chat is, so can you explain that?
I can, and I'm so excited that we are still active. Melissa, the coffee chats have been going on for about 3 years now. Melissa has been included for about two. Actually, the first year, it wasn't many of us at all. So, what I'm really happy about is that we stuck with it. We didn't get discouraged because of the numbers. And I encourage you who have started coffee chats since then to do the same. Don't give up. The first year, it was between 2 and 5 of us, most of the time, 2 or 3, but we kept going every week. We consistently um, kept it going. And I do want to share this one for 1 minute. The day that I'm going to make it quick, the day that we decided that because of my health, I was going to get rid of something, eliminate something from my life. And I decided, well, since the coffee chats don't have that much presence, let's just allow Melissa on the fourth week, we'll all just come on her week. And then,
Right, right. And I
right,
didn't even know that was happening.
she had no idea we were meeting on her behalf. And so that same day, when we were closing out for the day, it was 3 of us, a young man came in and he folded, and his words were, if the doors weren't open, I don't know what I would have done. He had suicidal ideations. He was losing his house. He had other things going on that we were able to help him with. But just think, if we had closed the doors, that wouldn't have been available. The coffee chat originated from the Southside Strong Coalition for Suicide Prevention, where the VA connected with some people in the community and decided that we wanted to create spaces for veterans outside of the VA, which is what we did. But the space was initially online. A group of us got online and we just talked about what we wanted to do. Finally, we decided to roll it out into the community with the coffee chat that started in the city of Chicago at the Blue Door on the lower end of Chicago. South side, but on the lower end, I just don't remember the address, another location.
We call them Wild 100s.
Yes. Well, 100 now. So we're on the 111th, actually 756 East 111th, every Friday, just about every Friday, probably 45 Fridays out of the year at the Blue Door Pullman. And we're there from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If we're having programs, they generally start around 9:30. You can come in at any time. There's no time restriction. You don't have to register to attend. So the coffee chats are beneficial because of just that. It's not formal, it's informal. We sit around, we chat, we drink coffee, and now we bring in vendors from other areas. On the third Friday specifically, we've upgraded to becoming vendor day. So we're bringing in vendors from different areas. We still sit in the space. The vendors participate in our chat. They bring resources, but it's very informal. They may set up a table, but that circle is happening, and the circle is where it happens. We talk about anything from military experience to resources, what's going on with you today. We have karaoke. We play cards sometimes. We do whatever we feel. And on that fourth Friday, I'm going to say it, Melissa does what she wants to do. We're veterans. We're in the space. We become a part of the space. So it's no big eyes, little U's. No one is standing over the other person unless we're presenting. And it's just a very, very safe, good space. I have testimony after testimony, but because of the time, I won't be able to share it. You can talk to me offline about it.
Yeah, and I think James was attended the coffee chat on Friday at the Blue Door, and I think he had made a comment. Shout out to you, James. I'm looking forward to you coming on the show. But I will tell you that that's been a blessing for Shero Coffee Chat because of the coffee chats, your coffee chats that we participate in. Uh, Jesse Brown reached out to me, and now we have a coffee chat at Jesse Brown that we're also participating in. So it's just growing. So I'm going to give you a charge, Nekohl. So if anyone is thinking about starting a coffee chat, Nekohl has done it numerous times now. And reach out to her if you are considering starting a coffee chat. She knows how to do it. She knows how to talk to. She has the words. She has the documents. She has everything you need if you're thinking of starting a coffee chat. So please reach out to her. Is that okay, Nekohl? Is that
That's just fine. 312-708-7458. Call me.
okay? All right. She gave the number. All right. Say it again.
312-708-7458. Call or text. Or you can
And
email
we'll make
me
sure we
also.
definitely put that in the chat. And so one of the questions I want to, because I still have to go back to my Shero resource table and get that done. But one of the questions is, how can, in your VFW role, your state role, how can women veterans support you? What do we need to do? What do we need to do to support you?
There are several ways. I do want to, since we're on the Shero Coffee, I am a Shero Coffee brand self-proclaimed distributor, and I use my Shero Coffee um, connection as a fundraiser for women veterans. So if you want to support me, one way to support me while I'm an ambassador is buy that Shero Coffee online from the Shero Coffee Club. And I'm sure you can find that information. Click on Nekohl. But after I'm an ambassador and before I was an ambassador, I was already using Shero Coffee.
Yeah.
Its purpose, its plan, aligns with my goals for the veteran community. So that's one of the ways you can support, by buying Shero Coffee. I usually have it present with me, but anything that I do, anything that you see me selling in the veteran community, those proceeds are for women veterans primarily, but all veterans. It supports the coffee chat. It supports any tabling that I do, anything that requires money and resources, the things that I sell. I even sell Mary Kay. I table for Mary Kay. Those proceeds go towards this effort. And I appreciate all support. You can also donate to Where We Meet for Where We Meet purposes, and to Nekohl.com for Nekohl.com purposes. As I said, the reason I do this is so that I can support veterans more. So that's how you can support. Also, not just money, show up in the space. Follow Nekohl Johnson on the platform. Share the information. It's not all about the Benjamins all the time. The money does help, but absolutely, please just share what we're doing. Other people may never tell you, but they're benefiting from those resources. They call, they reach out. And if you have anything that you want spread into the community, please share it with me. I do my best to include everything.
Absolutely. And so if you could have just the audience to have one takeaway from this conversation, what would it be?
One takeaway would be: find your safe space. Find your safe space. And if you can't find it, create it. But please come out of the place in your head, in your bedroom, like I was, in your bunkers. Find a safe space. It doesn't always mean going to a huge event. It could mean finding someone to talk to who makes you feel safe, finding a particular product or service that makes you feel safe. But please find your safe space. And of course, you could always meet up with us, because Where We Meet's mantra is meeting you where you are and taking you where you want to be. That's in your head, out of your head, into a space, or anything that you need to make you feel whole.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Miss Nekohl Johnson. We will see her again. I love the cup, girl. I love the cup. We will definitely see her again. There's so many things that we're going to be doing together. I thank you for taking the time to tell us about, everything that you're doing. I think you are amazing, just an amazing human being inside and out. And I know that God's plans for you are,
I'll
and
take that.
that's not even a word. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you so much.
All right, and thank you for taking over, which means, Andre, we might not have to do this show all the time. I might not have to
Okay.
host all the time.
I'm
We
down.
might,
I'm
we might
down.
just got us another host, Andre.
Absolutely. I
All
just hope I have Andre in the background. For the ones and twos. I love you all so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, we love you too. We'll see you again, Nekohl.
See you later.
All right, bye
Bye.
bye. All right, so back to, and we only have a few minutes. That was, I think, Nekohl, like I said, she's an amazing human being inside out. She's always looking to connect, looking to expand, looking to grow, not just for herself, but for others. I told you about my blessing in meeting her and what we're doing with Shero Coffee Chat, which expanded into something else. So we are blessed that she is a part of the Shero Coffee Club, and wishing her nothing but the best. I don't have to wish her anything because it's already said. So I'm going to get back into what I was talking about the Shero resource table. And so I was in a women's telehealth town meeting with Jesse Brown VA. And so they opened it up for questions. And so one of the sister vets shared that she was getting a bill for going to the emergency room. And so there are a panel of experts, that can help field the questions in the different areas that people may have. So they told her the answer. And so I wanted to kind of explain that to you to prevent it from happening to you if you should run across that. So I want to start with urgent care. So if you're enrolled in the VA healthcare, and you can go to a local urgent care clinic. Now it has to be part of VA's care network. So it's little or no cost to you to go to urgent care. You don't have to call ahead to get permission. You just have to make sure that the place that you go to is in network. I've gone to urgent care facilities before, and they've told me they don't accept TRICARE, or they don't accept. And so that told me that it was out of my network. But most times you can go to urgent cares and they're inside the network. And that's pretty straightforward for urgent care. Now, for emergency room visits, it gets a little bit more tricky. So here's the deal. So if you are having an emergency, uh, like for instance, your health is at serious risk, you don't have to call VA before heading to ER, right? That's not wise if your health is at risk. Just go. That's what an emergency is. I mean, it's just something that needs to be handled now. However, there is a catch. If you did go to the ER, the VA has to be notified within 72 hours of your visit. 72 hours of your visit. And it doesn't mean, because you could go from ER to being admitted into the hospital. And it doesn't mean you personally have to call. And especially if you're not in a condition to do it, it's really just about keeping the VA informed, so the hospital staff can call, or a family member can call, but somebody has to notify the VA within those 3 days. Otherwise, the bill may not be covered. And that's exactly how some veterans end up with unexpected charges, right? It's not that they weren't supposed to go to the ER, because no one's preventing you from going to the ER. It's just VA wasn't told in time. So I want you to make sure that you're covered. And here's what you do. You call 877-881-7618. That's 877-881-7618. I want you to press option 1 to speak with someone. And then if it's for urgent care, if you just want to find out who's in your network, you press 3. Or for emergency room, it's like an emergency room pre-authorization, if you call, and notification. You press 4. And really that's it. So the person that's on the line can guide you through the entire process of either urgent care questions or emergency room questions for that authorization. So this is what I want you to do right now, though. That number, 877-881-7618. I want you to save it in your phone. So I was scrolling through my phone, right? I have so many numbers in there that I haven't used. But this 877 number is one that you can and may have to use, when you need it. So, it's not gonna, you got so many people's numbers, in your contacts that are just taking up space that you never have called and never will call. But let's add this number in your phone so that when that occurs, you won't be scrambling, okay? That's important. That is important to save that number. That community care contact is so important. And now I don't have time to give you the story of the week, but guess what, guys? I got time to give you the tip of the week, right? So this tip for the week, my tip of the week for you is, if it's helped you, then share it, because it makes the community stronger. And I don't care if this is a resource, if it's a connection, a kind word. Yes, people need kind words or a lesson learned the hard way. Don't keep it to yourself, because that's one of the most powerful ways that we can build community, is by reaching back and lifting someone else up. That's so important. And you never know, just a small gesture, the impact that it can have. So that's what I want you to do. Pay it forward. And that is the tip. So let's do that this week. And now I am out of time. All right. So as always, keep your heart strong and your coffee Shero. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share.